everybody, it's Thomas. Let's talk about some Blood Bowl League of Blood Bowl. A week has occurred. We have just wrapped up week 18 with some results. Some things definitely happened. One more Stein leveled up thanks to some big passes on my part. So I gave it block because blodge plus 1 agility, pretty good. If I somehow get this piece to level 5 in the next week, I'll get more seals on it. But for all intents and purposes, the team is basically done now. I mean, that's not entirely true, but for the most part it is. I've got one more week, and it's possible I can get like Hard, Better, Faster, Logger to level 4. I can probably get Trappist Logic to level 3. Crescent Dunkel probably hit level 3 at some point. You know, I'm not that far away on a lot of these pieces, but it's unlikely the team will change very much. So like I said, at this point the team is essentially complete, which is a little, I mean, it's a little less than I want it to be at this point, but there's only so much you can do. Most of my catchers are level 3 though, which is good. Digitally Love is not, but what can you do? So let's do, other thing that happened is Porter Heroes leveled up here. Porter Heroes leveled up on my bye week here, which is already calculated in here, which is what I'm saying the team is basically done. I got sidestep on this piece, and I got sidestep because dodge is I already have 2 dodge on the line pieces, and sidestep gives me a little more flexibility. And again, I could get fend or something, but I think sidestep does effectively the same thing. With 5 MA too, it's nice to have a little bit of extra maneuverability, so we'll see. I did decide to keep this guard piece. Just got to keep it away from hitting things, basically. But having the assist will be very important, especially with all the other guard teams, and it's just nice to have a guard piece, so I'm keeping that one. But yeah, I mean, team is still pretty good. All things considered, I think this team is in a pretty good shape. Again, Harder, Better, Faster, Logger, I would like to get to level 4, so I can give it Sidestep, or maybe Fend. Fend actually sounds pretty good, but we'll see. Sidestep is always a really good skill. This piece has catch, well, we'll see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces within an MVP leveling up, so yeah, team is not going to go too much farther, but we'll see. Things can always happen. The game itself, I got 80k in my bye week, by the way. Not that I'm really spending a lot, but it gives me a little more flexibility if I want to dump money in for a wizard. But this game, as you can see, it happened twice, because even though we were almost done, the Great Demons of Power Failure hit Greyduck, and yeah. So the turnaround was much better for her. Went from what would have been a 3-0 loss to a 2-1 victory over me. My dice were just not very cooperative, and her dice were more cooperative. That's just kind of how it goes. These 5 tackles are a little inflated because I kept having to do dumb dodges, so, you know, take that as you will. Otherwise, yeah, just sometimes you can't get it done. I guess the Blizzard, I made a few critical mistakes. She got first possession and scored relatively late. I could have probably scored had I remembered that Blizzard limits your passing. Would have been a lot riskier, because I would have had to throw into a -2, but with catch, you know, it's still, what is it at that point? It's a 2+, goes to a 3+, 4+. So it's a 75% chance of making the catch, and then just have to dodge out. So, I don't know. I maybe could have done it, but I forgot about Blizzard, so this puts me in a bad spot. Basically means I have to win my last game against Mark, and that's kind of all there is to it. I don't really have a lot of choices in the matter at that point. So very frustrating game. If you want to watch me getting extremely salty, the link will be up there, obviously. But yeah, I mean, basically, this was me making a few mistakes and then having the dice be bad, and her dice pretty much being fine. I don't think she used a reroll like a whole second half, which, yeah, always a good feeling. But yeah, so we'll see. I think my group stage curse might be kicking in here, but we'll see how it goes. Let's look at Greyduck's side of the equation. Not a lot. This Blitzer already leveled up, and dodge. This runner leveled up, thanks to some aggressive passing. Lots of things to get. Dodge is always good. Tackle is always good. Sidestep's worth considering. Fend is actually not that bad here. Leader would be pretty good. I do like Leader a lot. Gives her effectively 4th reroll for only 20k. And this piece is already pretty resistant with Dump Off and Block. So that's kind of what I would lean towards doing. She could get Sure Hands as well to have a more dedicated running piece, but we'll see what she decides to do. Both these assassins need to get a pass in. This Witch Elf needs to get a pass in. There's lots of pieces that are almost leveled up for her, which is pretty agonizing. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. All these bottom pieces. So 5, 6. 6 pieces within an MVP leveling up. This Blitzer needs an injury, and well, actually needs a touchdown or an MVP, or 2 touchdowns and injury, whatever. There are lots of things you can do. Probably more worthwhile to focus on getting Roger more SPP. I don't know. Hard to say. How much money did she walk away with? 30k. Not great, but, you know, is what it is. Team's doing good, though. It's in a very good spot. Obviously, these Witch Elves could use more SPP. Blizzards could always use more SPP. There's no one on this team that can't use more SPP. We've talked about it before, but I think getting a 3rd lineman or a 4th lineman would be good, especially because you want this kick guard piece and you're near the line. So we can stick assassins up there, I guess, but I don't know. It's a tough call. She's at 12 pieces now, so going to 13 would be okay. Certainly an interesting call. More linemen just to stick on the line would be certainly quite all right, though. Okay. Other match of the week, we had, who did play? We had Jessup versus Zach. I've not had a chance to watch this game. I don't believe it got posted yet, which is probably why when it does, I will obviously mark it up here. Jump me down here. But yeah, pretty good game for for Jessup, basically. He made some noise about how he couldn't get a lot of passing and ball picking up done, but apparently he got enough of it done to go 2-0. Good casualties on Zach's part. I know he injured the tree, which is always fun. But honestly, not a bad week for Jessup. 1 KO from falling over, dealt 5 casualties in return. So whatever, I guess, because Jessup's team loves to run at people, and for some reason it works. Oh, we didn't do SPP totals for my game against Greg. We'll do that in a second here. Just walking with 10 SPP from injury alone. Another 10 from MVP and passing. So 26 SPP. Ridiculous. If he thinks this is a bad game, then I can't help you, buddy. There's no fixing that perspective. Looking at Zach, a lot less happy, obviously, with just 9. Really not ideal for him. Let's see. I'm interested to see what he ended up taking on his pieces. In terms of Jessup, though, Tree, yes, with -1. Word Answer to level 3. A couple things might be worth getting. I lean towards getting Tackle. Frenzy plus Tackle is really good. Although Strip Ball might be in order at this point. We'll see. I mean, this Word Answer could pretty easily get... well, I don't know. It's a bit... I mean, you can always go with the option he doesn't want Strip Ball too. But I think that's a mistake. Either way, you can do whatever he wants. Actually, getting Strip Ball here wouldn't be that bad. But we'll see. It's difficult to say. Catcher levels up, should get Block or Wrestle. I would lean towards Wrestle. This piece got Block, which is fine. Cheese continues to steal all of the SCP, up to 11 touchdowns, which is crazy. 50 SCP total, just needs 1 pass to hit level 5, which would be awesome. Dauntless would be pretty much my go-to, especially with the Mighty Blow combo there. Yeah, I mean, this team's doing just fine. Could be doing better. Obviously, wish he had these catchers earlier, but hey, is what it is. Eggle also pretty close to leveling up as well. Let's do a quick count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces within. So many passes. 5 pieces within an MVP of leveling up, so that's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, he's still got 12 pieces. You might want to think about getting another catcher still. He's at 230, walked away with 30, and then 50 from the bye here. So I don't know, pretty close, all things considered. But yeah, Tree with -1 MA is really annoying. If it gets knocked down, it's not going to get back up, very likely. But it doesn't really change the equation that much. Trees don't move very much if they're not hitting, so yeah, it kind of is what it is. It's been stuck at 15 SCP for a while, though, which is a little unfortunate. So Zach's side of things. North's Werewolf is mixed in this game with minus armor. That's really unfortunate. This piece got Mighty Blow. I think that's a mistake. He should have gotten Block, but whatever. This piece got guard, which is okay, but not what I would have chosen. This piece, I think started leveled up, but looks fine. Tackle and tackle, and this piece got strip ball, which is okay. A piece with strip ball is perfectly fine in this league with relatively low sure hands. Don't mind that whatsoever. Getting up to 45 SPP, pretty phenomenal. Total of 15 casualties, super, super good. Yeah, no real changes otherwise, though, not too surprising. It's got a bunch of money, though. You know, could look at getting more pieces. I mean, he'll only have 11 going up against Chris next week, so I would definitely consider picking up some more linemen, perhaps another thrower if he wants to, but I would just get more linemen. What's the thrower doing for him? Zero passes an MVP. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I would just get some more linemen if he wants to do that. Could save up and just go for star players as well, but that starts getting expensive really fast. And the North star players available in this game are super, super great. Okay, so I would go back and check our SPP totals. Let's see here. So me walking away with a good old 10, which is great. Great up walking away with not that much more though, just with 14. So pretty good, but you know, whatever. Obviously, I would have preferred to have these results, but hey, it's what it is. Okay, so let's take a quick look at rankings because they matter a little bit here. With Jessup's win, he's locked in and guaranteed to make it to the playoffs. He was #1 overall going into the group, so even if he loses out, he's only got one more game because he, like me, has the bye this week. But if he loses against Zach for some reason, it won't really matter. He'll be able to make it in. Chris and Zach. Chris obviously has a better chance of going in, but if Chris loses out, which is not impossible, but is a thing that could happen. Actually, Chris has a bye next week, so Chris needs to win next week in order to make it on. I'm expecting that to happen, to be perfectly honest, but weirder things have happened. Even if he ties, things could go poorly for him, although actually a tie would be okay because his tiebreaker beats Zach, so that should be okay. So in order to Zach make it, he has to beat Chris, and then he has to beat Jessup, which is not impossible, but it's not looking that great for him. 2 losses is pretty hard to come back from. Say this is someone in the same position, so we'll see how that goes. No wins as well, makes it very difficult. On our side of things, things are kind of complicated here because despite having 2 wins, Greyduck is not guaranteed to make it in because Greyduck is the lowest placer of our group. If Mark and I both manage to get a win, Greyduck will be out just due to the way tiebreakers work. So she needs to win her matchup against Mark next week to guarantee her path in. Obviously, if she beats Mark, she's locked in. If she ties or loses to Mark, which is not impossible, she needs to hope that Mark beats me. So best case scenario, obviously, is to win your games for pretty much everybody. But, you know, like I said, for... well, yeah, it's not even required that Chris actually doesn't really have to do much of anything. He just has to hope that if he does not beat Zach, that Zach does not beat Jessup. And well, is that even true? Yeah. Chris has to hope Zach doesn't get to 2 wins. However that happens, essentially. We'll see. I mean, yeah, there's just so many weeks that aren't left. We only have 2. I mean, the max points anybody can get would be +6, right? So, and even then with a tie, it's more likely to be +4, I think, depending on where your tie-breaking setup lays here. So, yeah. We're all pretty close in Group 2. Group 1 still has a lot of possibilities, but looking less and less likely at that point. All right, let's look ahead to the next week. Jessup and I, like I said, had the bye, so nothing happens for us that you haven't already seen. Let's take a look at Group 1 here. Chris versus Zach. I don't think Chris had any levels up after his weird game. Yeah, I don't think the bye provided him anything. No, this blitzer rolled doubles. I don't know, maybe he had that last time, but he's got sidestep now. Blodge, sidestep, guard. Really good combination. I don't think there's any other changes here. Vol'jin I think Vol'jin leveled up a while ago. Yeah, I'm not seeing any changes here. So the question is whether Chris wants to hire more players or not. He kind of get away with no, although he only has 11. I would definitely consider hiring another player. More goblins is a thing Chris can do. Doesn't increase his team value that much. I mean, if Chris hires one more goblin, right, he'll be at 1,700, which is pretty good. Although going up against Zach next week, I could definitely see not picking up anybody. So 1,660 right now for team value. Let's take a look at Zach's squad here. Zach right now at 1,460. If he buys more players or not, it's a question. He's only getting 200 at this point. I would really lean towards buying more players. And then probably, he's got 4 rerolls, holy crap. It's probably more than he needs, but whatever, it's fine. In that case, what I would say is you could definitely buy even 2 more linemen. Only increases your team value by 100, and that would still let you get the second apothecary, which I think is the essential piece for this team at this point. Needs to avoid permanent injuries to have any chance of being able to make it into the playoffs. In general, protecting these pieces is going to be very, very important. Obviously, having more guard is key. He's got a lot of tackle, but it's all going to hinge around the Yeti for him. Especially with this werewolf out, that's his only source of like strength at all. And he really needs it to mess up the trolls and other things like that. So, Mighty Blow piling on, block, claw. I mean, it's got to do a lot of damage. It's got to take out trolls and black orcs and all kinds of things to have a chance of winning. I don't like his odds, especially with the low armor value and Chris having more Mighty Blow these days. Let's take a quick look at that, actually. So, 1, 2, 3, 4... 5 pieces with Mighty Blow. That's a lot. I mean, when you get to Mighty Blow against 7 armor value, you're talking about a 53% chance of at least a stun. These are not great numbers, all things considered. If Garrosh makes it to level 4, I would say, by the way, Chris should get Frenzy or get Mighty Blow. I think that's a good call for that piece. We'll see, though. Chris has got a lot of pieces that are pretty close to leveling up, except for Ren 2, who will probably remain at level 1 for forever. So yeah, Chris has decided what he wants to do in terms of buying. I should mention as well, Zach could certainly get a wizard, and wizards could cause problems for Chris, all things considered. But in the past, I think Chris has just run all over him. Only 3 casualties, though, against last time. It was still a 2-0 win. 2-0 win with 9 removals and a death. 8 removals. I don't like Zach's odds here. He's never won a game against Chris. I just don't think he can do it consistently. That said, dice gods sometimes look favorably upon people that I don't think will win, which has actually been the theme as well for my predictions this season. So we'll see. But I think Chris wins, even with the amount of money he's giving up. I think it's a pretty clear Chris game. Greyduck versus Mark. Let's take a look how much money Mark is receiving. He's got a bunch of zombies that leveled up. I don't know if we looked at this famous, we got plus strength. I think we did when we looked at the team when it leveled up. Let's see here. So 1650, a lot of money in the bank. Where is Greyduck? 1720, 1740 with the level up. So we're looking at just 90? Is that right? Did I do my math? Yeah, so just 90, which is kind of unfortunate, actually. Not that a babe is ever a bad thing to have, but it's definitely not the only thing that you want to have. I'm pretty sure he could hire a dirty player zombie if he wanted to. I don't know if that's what he wants to do, but it is an option on the table for him. It's got a fair amount of Mighty Blow now. 3 pieces, 4 pieces if you count this werewolf, which I definitely do because that piece is a monster. This one's actually really close to leveling up as well, and this plus strength zombie is definitely going to be a problem child. So, we will see. Let's take a look at their match history here. 2-1 win last time with 5-4 prior to that. Another 2-1 win with 8 removals there, and prior to that, had a tie game. So this does favor Mark, which is good for me, because I would really like Greyduck not to win. Greyduck has the last buy of our group, so like I said, she needs to, well, I still need to win at that point. I need to tie Greyduck's record, essentially, to make it in. So even if she ties Mark, I will be, well, no, if she ties Mark, then I can beat Mark's record. Assuming Mark doesn't beat me. Either way, yeah. So, I don't know. Certainly Greyduck has acquired a couple more skills since the last time they played. I don't know if it will be enough. Really hard to say. Just based on match history, I would say Mark will win this game, though. A tie is certainly possible. Greyduck certainly could win because elf powers are a thing, even for dark elves, which don't play like a classic elf team in any way. But still, that's what we're looking at there. Yeah, cool. Let's take a quick trip through, nope, not league management, through the Hall of Fame. Most experienced players cheese by not that much. Dog right behind it, though, so pretty much 2 Wood Elf players there, because nothing bad really has happened to Jessup's team. I mean, yeah, War Dancer died, whatever. Famous Nathan at 46, not too bad, 1 MVP away of leveling up there. Squatch right behind him there. Kargat at 37. Lots of level 4 players here. Let's see here. Come back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, these are all level 4 players. Some really close to level 5 players, though, which is pretty cool. We'll see how that happens, but it's tough to say. Cheese here with 11 touchdowns. This bye week is good for Jessup, gives less chance for this piece to get murdered. One more Stein up to 8 touchdowns. Kargat at 7. We'll see if that number changes. Yeah, lots of touchdowns scored everywhere. Right now, just kind of give you an overall picture here. It looks like most touchdowns belongs to Jessup with 29. I have 27 and Chris has 24. It's not too surprising to see us up there for sure. Okay. What else are we looking at here? Bam, this way. Best throwing Dog at 27 passes, very impressive. This is almost this is almost a level 3 piece on passes alone. Absolutely phenomenal. Travis Logic still at 14. Thrall still at 12, so that number might go up as well. No new interceptions. Always a sad thing, but they never get that many. Squatch holding on the top spot, up to 15 injuries here. Like I said earlier, very, very impressive. Lots and lots of Orc players on here. Chris, well ahead in terms of casualties, by the way, with a total of, where are we, 41 casualties. To put that in perspective, his next closest competitors are Mark, Zach, and Jessup, each with 25. So yeah, lots of things. Lots of things are happening there. In terms of raw removal, Chris way, way ahead with 96. Although Jessup at 72 is ridiculous. I don't even want to think about that. Thrall, 378 in terms of yards run. Very impressive considering the guy hasn't played this week. Parsec not that far behind him, though. Chris just needs to stay a little bit ahead of him and should be okay. We'll see, though, one of these players could easily, or Parsec could easily move up there. Dog at 302, which is pretty impressive there for the thrower. She's at 250, not too surprising there, either, considering how many touchdowns he has to carry in. Best thrower in terms of yardage, Dog now at 268, me with 220 here, so not quite as far. And you were not even really very close at that point. Survivor doesn't mean anything for us. Best killer, do we have any deaths this week? No, because of our rematch with Greyduck here, we didn't get any deaths, so no skulls for us. Hooray, not that we aren't still way ahead of schedule there. We've got 21 kills, so yeah, we're, or 21 deaths, I should say. We only have 19 kills, so yeah, ground, it is deadly. Best receptions, Cheese here at 20, not surprising considering the number of touchdowns the piece has scored. Dog right there as well. Also makes some sense there as well. Lots and lots of elf players on here, but Thrall still holding on to a spot there. So, quick recap of my predictions. We'll do some bigger predictions actually here too before we do that. For the playoffs, I think that we will see Chris and Jessup. Jessup will probably have the number 1 seed. Yeah, I think that's pretty likely at this point. So 1 and 2, and then on this side of the equation, it's really hard to say. Mark for sure, I think, is a safe pick to make it in, just because even if he and I have a tied record, he'll be able to win on the tiebreakers. So Mark in there, first or second, depending on how the games go. And then, I don't know, Greyduck is the easier time, but we'll see. Overall winner, probably someone from Group 1, depending. Jessup has a really good record against pretty much everybody through sheer craziness, essentially. But Chris's wall of metal is pretty hard to deal with. But we'll see. My record against Chris is pretty good, but we'll see if I even make it to the playoffs this year. It's a mystery. Okay, but in terms of what's going to happen next week, I believe that Chris will win, and I believe that Mark will win. So there you go. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll talk to you later.